In 1996, I was actually sitting in the living room with my parents watching the Olympic Games in Atlanta. When I was 7 years old, I made that goal to become an Olympian, and over the next 12 years, I started playing a lot of different sports. After gymnastics, I was looking for that next best thing where I could flip and I could twist and kind of define gravity. So diving fit perfectly, and it's not like anything you can experience on ground. A lot of people think it's swimming. I'm not a swimmer, I'm a diver. To put that in perspective, that's diving off of a 3-story building. You're doing flipping and twisting, and you're plummeting at the water at 35 miles an hour. So, there's a lot of emotional and physical endurance that you have to partake in, and most of my training is outside of the pool. There's many sacrifices that athletes have to make, but probably the biggest choice I've had to make was whether I was gonna be homeschooled to allow for more training. And I decided to do homeschooling when I was in high school. And that was, it was difficult because I was out of the school environment, I was away from my friends, but that was one of the best decisions I could have made too, because I was able to, endure responsibility at that young age. That dream that I set at 7 years old finally became a reality 12 years later in 2008. And going into a competition looks a little different because you have, the powerhouses like China. Once you start thinking about what your competitors are doing in competition is the moment when you're going to start to falter. So I'm on the platform and it's almost like I have tunnel vision. You need to think about one or two things, otherwise you're going to start becoming overwhelmed.
Americans fall 11 points short. They lose 11 points and fall behind the Germans with one dive remaining.
When you're diving and synchronized, it's a team sport. So you're relying on somebody else, and when it doesn't quite go your way in competition, the worst thing that you can do is start blaming other people on that. You're trying to build each other up through the competition, and you get to share the victories, and you also get to share the failures, and from that you grow from it.
As Thomas Fincham looks up and sees scores that are very good, just not good enough.
If you miss a dive, you really just have to put it behind you. You can't look at that as a huge defeat. Take it one dive at a time and centralize your focus. Going into 2012, it's such a different journey. My perspectives are a lot different, and I've matured a little bit since 2008. The college experience has really helped my perspective on what I'm doing, and anyone who knows, if they've been to college, how difficult it is to be there. You're trying to manage your academics, but when you throw in an athletic career on top of that, it's even more challenging. Sponsorships provide athletes with the opportunity to train with ease, to not have to worry about how they're going to provide the next day for their training and provide in just general life. To have that comfort of knowing that we have that support system is definitely a blessing, because that's opportunity that not a lot of other countries have. My dream started at the age of 7, but the Olympics has always been a huge part of my life. The Olympics stands for so much more than just the podium. It stands for the journey, and it's not just about winning, and it's not about the triumphs, but it's about the struggles along the way. Not to have conquered, but to have fought well through the whole thing.